Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. I am your host, Jan Washington. This is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. I would like to extend my gratitude in you listening to this podcast. It means everything to me, and I hope it is clear that this subject matter is so important to me. I care about our people, our future, and making a positive change in this nation. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. And this episode is especially for the content creators of color 30-day challenge. Today I want to talk about a really interesting Black history moment that has an update. This story I've talked about on my podcast recently, and there is an update, and this is really fascinating, and I like to share it with anyone who hasn't heard. I know I didn't grow up hearing about this in school, and so I just want to share the knowledge and pass it along. And so it is about Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta Lacks is an African-American woman who died of cervical cancer in 1951. Unbeknownst to Henrietta Lacks, and without her consent, her cell samples were taken during her cancer treatments. So she had been attending Johns Hopkins for her cancer treatments, and they took her cells and kept them and used them for various experiments and such, as they noticed that her cells developed and multiplied at a rate, in a very unusual and extraordinary rate. As a result of all of this testing and experimentation that goes on without the consent of the family, she has passed on, and her cells have resulted in many medical breakthroughs and many contributions and have saved people's lives. So it's really kind of a conflicted situation. Them doing this and taking her cells in that way helped people in the long run, but the way that they did it was not ethically appropriate. And so what needs to happen is that they need to make this right with the family, similar to what we saw in the Martinsville 7 in Bruce's Beach, where we have a entity or the system having to right wrongs of the past. That needs to happen here. And so the family has a lawsuit right now. The Lacks estate is asking for Thermo Fisher to back pay the full profits gained over 70 years of using her cells without consent. Can you imagine 70 years of using her cells? Her cells have, if you look out on the internet of all the things her cells have been involved with, it has went for research for trying to find a cure for AIDS. It has helped people have babies. It is cancer research. It has just done all sorts of things. It's amazing. I was reading I saw an interview with her son, and he said that I think her grandson, and he said he looked at his grandmother like a superhero because her cells were just like amazing. They did all of these amazing things. So it's just really a fascinating story, but they need to make it right? So, and then there's also a movie associated with this. There's an HBO movie that Oprah produced a few years back called The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. And it's based on a book called The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks that the family was involved with the production. So, and the book is authored by Rebecca Sloot. And the family was involved with the book also, and I've read that, so that is a good read. I recommend that to get more information on this story. It's just really interesting. And another thing I wanted to share about this, when they were making the movie with HBO, they commissioned a picture to be created for the movie, and and it was done by African-American artist Kadir Nelson. You may remember that he did that really nice picture art piece of Barack Obama a few years back. Well, he did a piece of Henrietta Lacks, and in the picture, and the name of the picture is Flower of Life, and the flowers in her dress resemble images of cell structures, and there's 2 buttons missing on her dress to symbolize her cells taken without her permission. And I was like, oh wow, that's dope. So I had to go look that up. So yeah, I encourage everybody to look this story up. It's really interesting, and I just really hope this family gets justice and the compensation that they deserve. I mean, this is systemic racism. You know what I mean? A system that just thinks that they can take something from someone who is not versed in the law and, manipulate them. And that's not right. So yeah, guys, I just want to share. So I appreciate you listening, and take care.